those immortal bodies. So what do you think that means? That means that we're going to be gods. Meaning we're not going to get sick. We're not going to get old. We're not going to die. We're going to be like gods. That word God, when you go into Hebrew, the word there is Elohim, which means powers. Now let's not forget, brothers, the name Israel means in the Hebrew, Yashua Allah means he, Prince, power. Literally means he, Prince, power. In other words, a God.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Literally will be angels in fleshly bodies. The bodies that we're going to get is going to be of a much higher grade than the body we're in now. Absolutely. We're going to get those indestructible bodies. You know, bodies that are able to travel into outer space, because we're going to go in outer space. Yahushua made the statement. He said, in my Father's house are many mansions. What does that mean? That means other planets. We're going to be able to travel to other planets, and we won't need no space apparatus like you see Esau has.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Because a God, a true God, lives forever. Okay? So we're going back to that, brothers. We're going back to living forever. Being the true gods that we're supposed to be. And this is what's happening. And it starts with the elect of the nation of Israel. The chosen few that the Lord is calling right now to bring them back to their godlike status.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
I mean, the ultimate destruction will come from the ultimate God, Yahushua, okay? Underneath his father, of course. Okay, he's going to be the main one to destroy Esau and his society, okay? But we're going to have a hand in it too, as gods. When I say we, I mean the elect of Yahushua, who he's coming to gather, okay?
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Why are we going to rejoice in the Lord and glory? Because we're going to get our godlike status back. We're not going to be feeling the way we're feeling now. We're going to be feeling like a God.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Prepare for it, brothers. We're going to be made gods. We were gods in the past. We shall be gods again.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples. All right, to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutation to the hopeful lake out there, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners that have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. All right. And just as the title says, you know, we're going to go into some of the snares of the devil, you know, because as we see these things play out, all right, as we've been observing this devil, you know, over time, all right, you pick up, you know, we have through the spirit, you know, we pick up on his patterns, you know, and his tactics. All right. Like the scriptures say, when you go to 2 Corinthians 2:11, it said, least Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And a lot of our people, all right, the adversary, you know, Esau, Edom has a heavy advantage over our people because they're not, you know, in tune to how this man really operates in the earth. You know, they not familiar, all right, with his deceptive, you know, tactics, man. You know, because Esau, he uses the same formula, you know, for a lot of his agendas, you know, and people, the majority of the people eat it up, man, especially our people. All right. So when you go to the word devices in the Hebrew, I mean, it's like in the Greek.
Strong's G 3540. Naima.
All right. And it says a mental perception, a thought. Yep. It says an evil purpose. You see? And we're not ignorant of the evil purpose of Esau Edom because we know who this man is, and the Bible gives us all the game about this guy. All right, the Bible constantly warns us of this nation, of this people. All right, the way he thinks, the way he moves is all in the scriptures. You see, that's why this knowledge is so valuable. Um, uh, 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 you know, to have in these times. You see, this is the scriptures is like a survival kit, you know, full of instruction on how to survive and maneuver within the society as an Israelite, man. But majority of our people, they refuse that instruction. It says that which it says that which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purpose. You see? And we understand what this man's purpose is. And when you go into the scriptures, when you go back to the origin, all right, the origin of the story between Jacob and Esau, it tells you this man's inner thoughts. All right. Because this is how this is how Esau felt about Jacob, but ultimately it was how the nation of Edom would feel about the nation of Israel as a whole. All right, this is Genesis 27:41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And see, these Edom going to these elites because they're the one making these decrees and making these moves. All right, to do a mass slaughter, on Jake, man. You see? And it's because of that blessing, especially now that the prophets have raised up and are constantly talking about the blessing that we have to come. Esau, Edom, all right, is still in that same spirit, and we're going to prove it. And it says, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's this man's mind frame. All right, ever since then, he has that same mind frame today, Let's see, you get that word slay. All right. In the Hebrew, it's harag. All right, which means to kill, to slay, to murder, to destroy. All right. It said to destroy or to ruin. You see, this man is all about the ruin, of the tribes, man. This is this man's MO. This is how his mind constantly works, man. Especially when it comes to Jake. Now, he oppresses, all right, all the nations. But when it comes to Israel, there's a triple portion of hatred. He goes far out his way to try to ruin, Jake, man. So as our people constantly, when you go to let's get that in Amos, just to show that Esau still has that same energy, he's just much more deceptive in these times. This is Amos 1:11. It said, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. You see, this man, all right, always kept that same energy with you tribes, man. When you look at the history, all right, when we was coming into the promised land and we needed to go by the land of Edom, to take us directly, into the land of Canaan, that land that was, promised to the seed of Abraham for an inheritance. And as we was going, what happened, man? Esau wouldn't let us pass, and then he came, all right, to the women and children, with the troops, man. Then fast forward, look at the time of Haman. What was Haman's agenda when he had got his authority within the Persian Empire? All right, under Xerxes, what did he do, man? He tried to eradicate the Jews, man. Fast forward to the Greeks. All right, the Romans. Then he was put out of power, doing what they call the Dark Ages. Then when he came back in power, what was the first thing on his agenda, man? When Granada fell in 1492, all right, to Queen Isabella, all right, and Ferdinand II, all right, of Castile, you know, when they was able to take down the last stronghold that Jake had, Granada, you know, with the Moors, all right, that same year, Columbus was on the boat over here, man, the same exact year. Soon as that man get any type of power, one of the first things on his agenda is to oppress the tribes, man. But here it is, 2021, and you Israelites move as if this man has changed his stance. All right, it's only a few of them like that. You know, like those, bad ones died off. No, man. All right, those have the same hatred and come in that same spirit. Now, when you go into that word, perpetually in the Hebrew is I. All right, Ada, and it says perpetually, forever, continuing. All right, forever, of future time. So this man has this same hatred from back then to now, man. Now it's just more deceptive. You see, he gave you an illusion, that their hatred, disintegrated, during the civil rights movement, you know. But no, man, it was just more deceptive. Now it was more of a psychological destruction, which made our people destroy themselves. Because when you look at the civil rights movement, he gave you the illusion that he was including you within his kingdom, man. Like he was welcoming you in within his kingdom. You had to because a lot of these, these different movements and fights for rights, a lot of those things were staged to make it seem, as if you accomplished something when he finally did, give you, some type of freedom, some type of liberty. You can drink out the same water fountain. You can go to his colleges. You can buy the same cars that they got. You can have different positions and job titles that they got. The first black this, the first black that, and it made it seem like our people were triumphing. Like there was progress, and no, man. But all he did was put you more into an enchantment, because when you go to the 60s, what did you have? The feminist movement, Then you go on to the 80s, what did you have? The crack epidemic, you see? Then what happened? The mid 80s, going to early 90s, gangster rap, you see? And look what those three things alone has did to our people, their mind frame, their mindset. All right, look what has happened. You see, so it was more of a of a psychological warfare that what really put majority of our people in auto destruction, man, and self destruction. You see, so let's get I want to get this article. Eliasha Wamba brought it out, because I've been wanting to do it. But it's been some more videos that came out since then, so now, it's the time to bring it out, because we really see what this man is up to, and just like the brother Yashima tribe of Judah, Jeremiah 13:23, it says, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to evil. And see, that's what Jake has hope in, that a leopard can change his spots, when they want Esau to do right. This man ain't built to do right. All right, it's not in him. You see? And you try him to find out the hard way, man, because he's setting you up, all right, for a hell of a fall, man, these last times. Now this is so crazy. All right, but Jake don't know what's going on in the earth. So he's gonna fall victim to these snares and traps, because they don't know how this man get down. Now, what you have is this is New York Post. It said Black Lives Matter comes out in solidarity with Palestinians. Now, damn well Jake don't know what the hell going on over there in that region of the earth. All right? Jake don't have a clue what's going on with that conflict. So how the hell can Jake be in solidarity, all right, with the Palestinians, man? Come on, man. But in these latter days, Esau, Edom, these elites are just linking you up to all type of madness, man. Because why? Black Lives Matter is nothing but a snare to link you to all this madness and abomination that's in the earth. All right. First they link you to Antifa, you know. Then they link you to what? The alphabet people, you know. And now they linking you to the Palestinians. Come on, man. The Palestinians, man. You see. But you in these latter times, you Jakes have been linked to everything, man. You know, in the time of judgment. So reading on, it says, Black Lives Matter has thrown its full support behind the Palestinians in the ongoing bloody conflict between their Hamas backers and Israel. Yeah, it said Black Lives Matter stand in solidarity with the Palestinians. The protest group declared in its official Twitter page on Monday. Yeah, because the spokesman, all right, and the leaders of this Lives Matter is who, man? The nigga woman, you know. And then they weird as hell. All right, these weird ass nigga women. But see, they can make a tweet and link millions of Israelites. All right, millions of you so-called black people to what, man? Palestinians, man. All right, here it is. You don't know what's going on. You trying to see, you know, who gonna get the 8th seed in the playoffs, and then this nigga done linked you to the Palestinians, man. You know, that's how this man gets down, man. Because why? People, they are ignorant to the Satan's devices, so he has an advantage over them. You know? And we going to go into it. It says, we are a movement committed to ending settler colonialism in all forms, and will continue to advocate for Palestinian liberation. The group added along with the hashtag Free Palestine. You see? Free Palestine. Come on, man. Now, let's just look at some of these images, man. Now it says from Ferguson to Palestine. You see, and they equate they equate, you know, you Jake's struggles with everything that's going on in the earth, man. And what they do, Esau, everybody on earth, you know, uses your struggle, you know, and your plight, and they springboard, all right, off that and make their own movement. Everybody on the earth always uses your struggle, all right, your situation to springboard their own movement. Now you got Chinese Lives Matter. You see, the Asian, you know, the Asian Lives Matter. You know, they stepped on you niggas back and they jumped, all right, and started their own platform, man. The alphabet people, you know, they use your you know, your narrative of civil rights, and now they're pushing for more rights, which they got all the rights, you know. But it's the same thing, all right. You Jakes have been a stepping stone, all right, within this man's society. Matter of fact, let me get that precept real quick. You know, the scriptures speak about that. When you go to I believe it's Isaiah 51 or 52. Yep. This is Isaiah 51 and 21. It said, therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. And they're speaking to Jake. You know, because Jake is constantly in some type of affliction. That's why you see Jake crying out. You know? And drunken, but what are they drunken with? The doctrines of this society, man. Black Lives Matter, Christianity, Islam, Moorish science, all right, Egyptology, the modern woman, feminist, liberal, atheist. They're all over the place, man. All right, they're drunken, but not with wine. All right, trying to vote, trying to be in politics, and all this madness. They're drunken, but not with wine. It said, thus said thy Lord, all right, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, and it says, and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people, and that's the elect who have repented. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Yeah, because we're afflicted because our power was furious with us because of our disobedience. And see, it's a beautiful thing to understand that now we know what to do to get back in his favor. You see? Now we're fighting to get back within his favor. And see, now he's removing that cup from his elect, and he's finna put it in the hand, all right, of our enemies, like it's gonna go into. It says, even the dregs of the cup of my fury, thou shalt no more drink it again. Yeah, this is it. And see, this is the good news. This Bible is full of good news for us. But the majority of our people, they refuse to accept it, man. You know, and this is why we get the rest in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, because this book, this gospel, is full of good news for us, man. Those that repent, man. You know? And it says, verse 23, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. You see? And everyone, especially with Esau Edom, you know, has, because Esau Edom, he built the empire on the backs of Jake, man. You know, of the tribes, and everyone else has followed suit and built, you know, and built off the backs of who, man? The tribes. Bow down that we may go over. Be submissive so we can, you know, climb up. Basically, man. You see? And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as discreet to them that went over. Yeah, my people just have been trodden down while everyone else has been elevated in this society, man. All these other nations have been elevated, man. You see? So let's go back to the article. I want to show y'all, because you see the pictures, all right? We can't breathe since 1948. You know, they just got you Jake's LinkedIn, man. A lot of these people are paid actors, man. You know, it says Palestine has long been the major overseas focal point for Black Lives Matter, for BLM. And the nigga don't know nothing about 1948. All right, and nigga don't know what's going on in their region. You know, Jake don't know what the conflict about. All right, but now they saying Black Lives Matter has been a long. All right, Palestine has been a long overseas focal point for BLM. Come on, man. You know, you ask the average nigga, where is Palestine? They couldn't tell you, man. You know, who are the people of Palestine? All right. What year was the first conflict between Israel and Palestine? Niggas don't know, man. Come on, man. You know? And it says a protest group that was formed by trained Marxists in 2013 in response to police custody deaths of Black Americans. It says a delegation of Black Lives Matter traveled there in 2015, its first official overseas trip and the first of several such trips. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrice Kahn Colors, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that's buying mansions everywhere. You know, she's buying mansions and condos everywhere on you niggas, man. All right. I think she was looking at a $5 million condo in the Bahamas. You know, if that's the same woman, you know, brothers fact check me, you know. But I think that's that same one. All right. Matter of fact, just look it up. You know, just look it up. All right. Here you go. This is your leader. All right. Now let me see. If it put it up, buying house. Let's see if it'll pull up an article. Yep. From the same company. It says inside Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrice Kahn Colors $1 million real estate buy-in binge. All right, and you see it, man. All right, It says that protesters broke out across the country in the name of Black Lives Matter. The group co-founder went on a real estate buying binge, snagging 4 high-end homes for 3.2 million in the U.S. alone, according to property records. Patrice Colors, 37, also eyed property in the Bahamas at an ultra-exclusive resort where Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods both have homes. The Post has learned apartments and townhouses at the beachfront Albany Resort outside Nassau are priced between 5 million and 20 million, according to a local agent. So she, all right, here it is. She's lumping you niggas up to all these different organizations, terrorist groups, all right, and she's what is she doing? She's enjoying the fatness of the earth, man. Showing you who she's linked up with. You know? Now, let's go from there. Now, this is what I want to show y'all because they look at the timing. They linking Jake to the Palestinians, all right. But now look at let's look at the propaganda that they pushing of what's going on in America, man. All right. So now this is from News Nation now. All right. Now this is from 2 days ago. It says Jewish men allegedly attacked by members of pro-Palestinian caravan outside L.A. restaurant. So let's let this play. You know, just peep the game, man. You know, he Black Lives Matter is in solidarity. All right, solidarity. You know, with the Palestinians. All right. So now let's look at the propaganda.
Disturbing video tonight. A violent attack caught on camera outside of a Los Angeles restaurant is now being investigated as a hate crime. A witness says a caravan of vehicles with Palestinian flags drove by and started shouting at diners at that restaurant. Well, city leaders are now condemning the attack, calling it anti-Semitic. News Nation correspondent Nancy Liu is live there tonight with the very latest on this. Nancy.
And Rob, police are still searching for suspects in what police have now classified as a hate crime, with Middle East violence spilling all the way here to the streets of LA. Tonight, there is both condemnation and fear. This violent brawl broke out at a sushi restaurant in Beverly Grove at around 10 o'clock last night. According to a witness, the attackers were part of a pro-Palestinian caravan of over 20 vehicles.
I feel that these pro-Palestinian individuals were on the hunt or searching for Jewish individuals, pro-Israel individuals, people.
Look at this nigga eyes. You know this nigga lying. But you should peep the game, man. You know.
Target.
Justin Amanpour says people were asked whether they were Jewish, and when two men responded, they were attacked. A diner who did not want to be identified said the group shouted obscenities as they pounced.
We were having like dinner, laughing, joking, and then suddenly you're in the war. It's a disgusting thing, you know.
Police are also investigating this incident from last night. Surveillance captured an Orthodox Jewish man literally running for his life while being chased by two drivers through a parking lot. LA Councilman Paul Corrett says the Jewish community is nervous and outraged.
We understand that there are hostilities in the Middle East, but they can't bring whatever fighting is going on between Israel and the Palestinians to the streets of Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is nowhere near the fighting in the Middle East, though in recent weeks, LA supporters on both sides have held a number of demonstrations.
Free Palestine!
There's been no significant violence linked to any of the actions until last night. LA police have stepped up patrols near synagogues and other areas within the Jewish community. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti says LAPD will investigate this hate crime with the full extent of the law. Live in LA, Nancy Liu, News Nation.
So you see that one. All right. Y'all seen that one. Now it's another one. All right, let's get one more.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for News Nation Prime. I'm Marnie Hughes.
And I'm Rob Nelson. While things are calm in Gaza City tonight, in other parts of the world, a different story. This is a look now at a pro-Palestinian protest in downtown Chicago. Several organizations.
All these things are paid and funded. All right. All they need to do is get footage, so-called protests, you know, take certain steel shots, and they can run with it. You see? When you want to see Esau, all right, if you want to know if it's an agenda, look at, the repetition of it. Look how, the timing of these things. All right. Remember, all these people work under the same council. All right. They're nothing but, pieces, all right, on the board game for the elites, man. They got Black Lives Matter in their pocket. They got these Palestinian protesters in their pocket. See, all they got to do is have different leaders amongst these groups that's down with their agenda. All right. And you have people that sincerely follow these things, but they don't know the agenda that they're following and that they're aiding. You see? Going into what? At least Satan should get an advantage of us. All right? And Satan is getting a heavy advantage over a lot of people, man, especially you tribes, man, that are linked to everything in these last days of judgment, man. All right? But this man is pushing a propaganda. That's why everything is happening within this timing like this, man. Now it's the same way you seen the march for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. All right? And then they had the Capitol, the attack on the Capitol on January the 6th. You see, all these things are nothing but moving pieces for the elites, man. And they push this propaganda for an end result. All right. And they're going to make the average Israelite, the average Jake, be a domestic, terrorist, man. Especially the prophets, man. It's all linking up. All right.
Are part of this rally calling on Congress to end military aid to Israel.
And that protest coming just 24 hours after we saw chaos in New York City's Times Square. Once the ceasefire was announced, violence erupted in the heat of the Big Apple. More than 24 people were arrested. And tonight, you can see hundreds of people are still on the streets of New York. News Nation's Tom Negevin is live for us there tonight with a closer look at the recent jump in anti-Semitic attacks. Tom.
Right, in the events of last night, Marnie and Rob, 26 arrests in total, but almost all processed out, issued a summons and released to await a later court date, except for 2 cases now being investigated as potential hate crimes. It began as a peaceful gathering to celebrate a Mideast ceasefire. Within minutes, it turned into this. Clashes between rival groups, supporters of Israel on one side, pro-Palestinian demonstrators on the other, separated by steel barricades, and police. The air filling with acrid smoke as the Palestinian group lit torches, then attacked. First the pro-Israel group, then police officers as the NYPD began making arrests. More than 24 were taken into custody. The hate crime charge filed against a 23-year-old man who allegedly beat a 29-year-old Jewish man with a crutch. Wasim Awadeh also charged with gang assault, menacing, and criminal possession of a weapon. New York's mayor tweeting, "Anti-Semitism has no place in our city."
And they love to throw that out there, the anti-Semitism. And you know they're going to spin that to link the prophets into that, because they know, all right, part of the gospel is to call out this man for being a fraud, because even when you go, let's get that, they love to scream that Semitism. You see, which there are many nations that come out of Shem. They act like if they're the only people on earth that come from Shem. So, let's get that Wisdom of Solomon. Let's get to the point. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. All right. I started at 13. Well, I started at 12. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. It said, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. And that's what they're doing. They're lying in wait. Hey, because a hunter, it sets up different snares. And then a hunter lies in wait to see who's going to take their bait. You know? And then when they bait, then when you take the bait, then they jump out. You see? And that's all this man is doing is lying in wait. You know? Because the snares is laid out. You see? It said, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law. Yeah, we go against this society which is completely contrary to the law and statutes and commandments of our power, man. You see? And it says, he upbraided us with our offending the law and objective to our infamy. All right, and infamy is when you're famous for being wicked or being evil. You see, and we bringing out all his famous and historical people that he exalt. Those people are wicked, man. You know, and it says and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High and call himself the child of the Lord. And this is how the elites are thinking right now, real time. All right, verse 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts. Yeah, because the scriptures say good is set against evil. All right, and this man is evil. All right, but that house of David is the good, the elect. You know, so we're clashing in the spirit. This is a spiritual warfare, and this man is trying to set up a snare. All right, to hinder what? You know, this word, this righteous energy that's in the earth. It says he is grievous unto us even to behold. All right, they hate to see us on the streets. They hate to see us pushing these videos. That's why it's such an attack. He's so petty with the channels. It says his ways are of another fashion. Yeah, see, we are being conformed to Yahweh, which is the complete opposite of this world and this society. You see, that's why, you know, the elect of Israel is like a nation within itself on earth, man. You know, we within our own realm on earth because we live by a whole different standard. It says we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. See, this the main thing. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. And what do they call it? Anti-Semitism, man. You know, he abstained from my ways as from my filthiness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed and making his boast as the Most High is his father, man. You know, so a lot of the anti-Semitism, you know, that Esau was speaking of, all right, they's mainly aimed at the prophets, man. They constantly calling this man a counterfeit of fake, man. You know.
This less than a quarter mile from the main protest in Times Square. Professional-grade fireworks thrown at bystanders in the Diamond District. A woman was hurt.
He said professional-grade fireworks thrown in the Diamond District, man. Where is they getting these fireworks from, man? You know?
And tonight, the NYPD confirms this is also being investigated as a hate crime. Similar scenes unfolding across the country. In Southern California, surveillance video captures an Orthodox Jewish man running for his life.
You see how they keep showing that same footage? They repetition, man. They conditioning something, man.
From a car flying a Palestinian flag. And this outside a Los Angeles sushi restaurant Tuesday night. Witnesses say members of a pro-Palestinian caravan stopped to ask if there were any Jewish patrons there, then attacked.
We were having like dinner, laughing, joking.
Yeah, so you see the same story. They running it back, man. You know, and then who's riding around saying, are you Jewish? You know, yeah, who wants to know? You know, a nigga jump out the Jeep, you know. This your guy. This your man's. All right. And speaking of that, now let's go to this incident because look how they was, you know, toting them people off in those protests, arresting them. 26 people got arrested. Now look at this incident. All these things is linking up. Now let me go to
amongst the Gentiles.
so like this. lesson that the elder, but not the Zakba did. Now, just to go into it now, dealing with these guys, I remember, I forgot what their name is now, but I remember when they was Adam Abbott. Now dealing with this guy from this video, the brother, I don't know his name, but the brother, me personally, I remember when I first seen the brother. The brother's an excellent teacher. He can paint a picture with the scripture, like he can put precepts, and break things down. Now, it was a time where, brothers was going at them because they was off on the mark of the beast. Then, this brother we gonna see, you can tell he has, pride on him. He has an ego, but at the end of the day, they was teaching, uh, brothers consistent. You see, they doing the work. And see, the only, discrepancy that we ever had with these men was their doctrine, and mainly that mark of the beast. They had a few flaws, within their doctrine. And brothers was addressing them according to the scripture at one point. And Jake, kind of proud, didn't, take heed, didn't correct the doctrine, but never the matter, they out there teaching, and at the end of the day, it ain't like brothers at GMS is just, trolling these men's page and waiting for something to happen so we can respond to. No, certain things just the spirit just bring forth and manifest, and it needs to be addressed, man. And that's something that a lot of Israelites guys know, brothers, and sisters know they're Israelite. They don't understand how correction is part of our culture, man. All right, things need to be corrected because even within GMS, all right, a lot of times, we correct ourselves more than anything. Like a lot of videos that go out, they be rebuking certain, different spirits or off, spirits that's with amongst GMS. So we correct each other all the time. I can listen to a video and be cut, and be straight cut, and I got to make the adjustments, man. You see, I have to make the adjustments right then. That's a correction coming from Yahweh Shema Shai, So when we correcting certain circumstances, you got Jake that be in their feelings, all right? That be in their feelings as if we not supposed to say anything, man. All right? Come on, it don't work like that, man. Why you think Israel stayed in captivity? Because of disobedience, refusing of correction. So we will be put in captivity. So the Most High would address, all right, Israel very often in when you look into the history, man. So we ain't supposed to address things now. Yeah, we're gonna address things, man. Correction is a part, of who we are as a nation, man. All right, matter of fact, let's get there before we play the video. And then I'm just giving my take on it, man. But there was a, there was a bad display. All right, that was put on, man. There was a bad example put out to the nation, man. Well, when you go into the scriptures, all right, 2 Timothy 3:16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High and is profitable for doctrine, which, like I say, when brothers were going at Adam Abbott, it was based on the doctrine. All right, nothing personal against these brothers, man. And like Elder Manata Zakba said, it was a good thing. Nothing crucial happened, to those men, because we could have got real bad out there, man. That one move, it could have got real bad out there, man. And we'll be talking about a whole different, scenario, man. And it says, and it's profitable for doctrine, for reproof, and correction, for instruction in righteousness, for correction. The scriptures it is for correction, man. So brothers is bringing out precepts when they're addressing this situation, man. Not emotions, man. All right, and you Jakes, well, they were teaching, well, you can't be scared. And that's another thing. All right, and it said, now you go into the word correction, I can make the point. the Greek.
Strong's G 1882. Epanarthosis. Epanarthosis.
All right. Now go to definition 2. It says correction. It says improvement of life or character. All right. So we not coming at these men to destroy them and say, look at them, stupid niggas. No, we're coming at them to improve. All right. For an improvement of life or character, man. That was a bad display. All right. For the nation, man. That wasn't a good look, man. And the scriptures don't promote acting like that, man. All right. That's against the scriptures, the way that situation was handled, man. Now, let's go to it and play it.
Hold on. What's the noise? Walk this way, you're gonna go to jail. What's the noise? Walk this way. What's the noise?
They gotta explain it. Hold on. Hey, yo, let my brother go. Yo, let him go. Yo, check your man. Check your man. Check your man. Check your man, man. No, what you talking about? Check your man. He asked the question. He asked the question, yo. No. He asked the question. Go back that way. He's gonna go back that way.
Book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 39. Give me the book of Acts, chapter 5 and 39. Give me the book of Acts, chapter 5 and 39. Give me the book of Acts, chapter 5 and 39. What the Lord said, the be of God.
But if it be a God. No, I can record it. I can record it. Yo, you can't stop me.
Now, and it's just my perspective on it. First of all, like I say, this brother, this head guy, the one that got arrested. Now, like I say, this brother, he is, if you just coming into the truth, and you in that spirit of awe, how brothers can pull precepts. He's one of those men, they can pull, 10 precepts to prove 1 point, and he, a Christian come up, he'll dice him to pieces. He's one of those type. So, you can tell, he has an ego about himself, like the scriptures say, pride, knowledge puffeth up, So he probably has a very, exaggerated ego about himself, think of himself more than what he is. And one thing about it, he was saying, what's the decimal level? Going into, I guess they was being too loud, So he was saying, what's the decimal level? And trying to use that smart, trying to, I know everything spirit, like the officer has to tell you the decimal level, or if he can't tell you the decimal level, you done cut him. You see, he's in that mode, like he's just gonna cut everybody, with the knowledge that he has. But sometimes it's time to use wisdom, all right, and have subtlety in situations. It ain't about trying to be the smartest person in the room all the time, or trying to be one up in knowledge. You got to be the alpha in knowledge, in all these situations. No, it's a time to use subtlety, because wisdom comes with a certain level of submission to particular things. But see, and another thing, like within black culture teaches you, if you show like any type of sign of being submissive, or using wisdom, to get out of a situation, and it seems like you took the low, all right, they look at that as weakness. It's not cool. But see, this situation, him screaming Acts 5 and 39 and being dragged across the street, see, that's cute in black culture, man. All right, but that's not wise, man. That could have got real bad, man. All right, we're reading about our enemy Esau, Edom, and there's nothing for a death angel to jump on these Edomites and they spaz out, man. This is not wise. All right, now let's get some precepts. Then I'm gonna get a comment dealing with Jake and they emotions, man. You Jake's too damn emotional, man. Not speaking to that guy, but these men on the comment board. Now he was off. So, but he might get it, and then there's another, perspective that this could be set up. Because all these things happen around the same time. We don't know. We just watching these things play out, man. You know? But now when you go to matter of fact, let me look for it. We gotta mature within this thing, man. We operate on the whole. We'll operate on a whole different wave, man. You know, we gotta mature. Now when you go to 1 Corinthians 1:13. Now 1 Corinthians 13:11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, yeah, and we was all spiritual children, spiritual newborns coming to this ministry, man. You know, and we constantly maturing, you know, in the spirit. You see, when we first came in, you know, we was in that spirit of, you know, every Edomite that walked by, you know, we getting, you know, we'll switch what we talking about just to, you know, get that Esau. You see, but we mature in the spirit. We see the apostles and elders how they're more temperate, you know, within their teaching. They're more focused on edification, you know, and not, you know, the entertainment factor, you know, of controversy, you know, with people that's passing by. Now, sometimes it just happens. It's going to happen, you know, especially in these more busy, you know, areas, you know, busy cities. You know, it's going to happen, you know. But now we're not out there looking for the controversy. We're more about edifying, you know. And we trying to avoid the controversy, man, because there's some people you can tell that they just coming with confusion, man. Let them go about their business, man, you know. And it says, but when I became a man, I put away childish thing, man. And that was a very childish behavior in the spirit, man. You know, very immature behavior in the spirit to do that, man. Because we in the times where you ain't gonna get no second chances, man. You know, you gonna be out there, and the people you with will be out there, man. Over foolishness, man. Over not utilizing wisdom, man. And that's not gonna be an honorable death if you die. All right, not utilizing wisdom, you know, because you got an ego. All right, you trying to uphold this, you know, this tough guy bravado, you know. No, man. It's gonna come a time, all right, when we ain't gonna have no option. You know, they gonna come in like a flood, and it's gonna be a standard lifter. But until then, all right, we move according to the scriptures with subtlety, man. All right, look how the Apostle Paul was speaking, you know, with with King Agrippa, all right, King Felix, you know. Hey, but the Apostle Paul was using subtlety, man, because he know, all right, him being alive was beneficial to the church. You know, you gotta think about the big picture, man. All right, when you go to yep, that's a good one too. The brother Yashima tribe of Judah put up Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And we seen that brother use grievous words, you know, the tone, the aggressiveness he was talking with, and then he touched the cop. You know, he stirred up anger. You see, but there could have been some words used that could have diffused that whole situation easily, man. Easily, man. And that would have been a good look for brothers to see, man, on how to maneuver, man. But it's gonna be a lot of men that come in that spirit, that hoorah, you know, that He-Man spirit, you know, that a superhero, you know, Hebrew spirit, man, and it's gonna be bad, man. You know? But when you go to another one in Proverbs chapter 2, verse 10. All right. It says, when wisdom enter into thy heart, which is thy mind, and knowledge is pleasant to thy soul, discretion, all right, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. Yeah, man, we got to have discretion. Discretion preserves you, man. All right, he said preserve you, man. You see, and you go into the word discretion. Let me go into it on the Google. All right, discretion. It says the quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information as to avoid causing offense. You see? Discretion preserves us. Knowing how to maneuver, knowing how to respond, knowing how to react. You know, that's something that we're being trained up on, how to react to certain different, situations. These scriptures are supposed to mature us, man. That we act in a whole different, mindset now. So yeah, that was off, man. At the end of the day, it was off. Now I'm gonna get this. Now this is put it in there. Now the brother priest. Yep. Now priest Abaya did a lesson. He went from the angle, of Yahushua. When they came and got him, he was like, he just went. He wasn't emotional. He wasn't, screaming out precepts that they was taking him away. No. All right, he just went, and he had the power. You see, you think that Jake had spiritual power, man? That was, So we gotta learn to master us, before we can get that power, man. It's a certain temperance that we have to have, man, before we even level up to that, man. You see? But when you go to Salaki, the comments now. You got this brother. And he really, this is Martin Caldwell. It says, we are to agree with our adversary quickly, and if they persecute you in one city, flee to the next. And he's speaking spiritually with scriptures, referencing scriptures. Flee to the next. We must be in line with the scriptures in order to activate the power, all right, of our power. I pray that I be in line as I should, So he's utilizing scripture like, look, agree with this man quickly, man. Just move. Ain't nothing, what victory did you get there? None. But a bad example, man. A black, to the ministry, man. What victory was to be had there? None, man. So just move. All right, shut it down. You've been out there teaching for a minute, and look, we'll just shut it down. All right, we teach every week. Next week go find another spot and teach. You see how the apostles and elders, they move around, and they teach, man. You see? And it says, now, when you go to this guy, all right, J. Rue, now here he start off, with this all praises to the Most High acronym, which you can't give praises directly to the Most High. It's through Yahushua, man. So you got this guy here, and this is his emotions, man. It said all praise to the Most High. That brother was still doing the work, and we know this brother is doing the work. All right, but it ain't about him doing the work. It was about his decision making. All right, in this situation, man. Jake always come off the sideline as a spectator with trying to critique. All right, how brothers correcting this, man. We don't need you niggas to critique from the sideline, man. And it says maybe the situation could have been handled better, but right now I'm more concerned for his safety. And you said maybe. No, the situation could have been handled better. That maybe, all right, no, it could have been handled better, man. You see, and that's the thing. Yahweh Shema Shai is establishing the standard amongst his people, man. That maybe should have, that maybe, that sort of, no. It could have been handled better, man. And you Israelites that ain't conforming and with us and really elevating to a certain standard, man, you finna be cut off, man. All right. It said, but now I'm more concerned for his safety today and grateful he was doing the work. Call halal Yahweh Bashim al Shah. All right. Barakathum to all the Akim. that are doing the work. And see what this Jake has to understand, you know, is correction has to go out. This young brother, you know, that's teaching that got arrested. He needs to take correction, man. You know, that's what this is about. Just like we all are subjection to the correction of the scriptures, man. All of us, man. It ain't about you can do 1,000 videos, but if you can't take correction, it's for naught. It's you're walking to destruction, man. You know. So you Jakes, all right. And when brothers is correcting things and you Jakes and ain't doing nothing, you Jakes, you know, spectating. Shut your mouth, man. You know, stop coming up with these opinions and your emotions, man. You see, this ain't got nothing to do with you, man. You know. So, that's the point. You know, like I said, I just want to touch on this situation as well. But Lord will, you know, you brothers and you few sisters, you know, were edified. You know, just want to bring that out. All right, this man is full of snares, you know, and traps, man. You know, we see the plot. We see the play. You know, we peeping the game in the spirit. You know, and we just watching this thing play out, man. Right now, it's just a game. It's a game of enduring and watching, man. You know. So, Lord willing, you brothers and you futures edified to the next time. Say Shalom. You know, Kwam Yashala. You know, Bob or Ball. All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Allah, Allah, Yahweh, Bashim, Al Shah, Man, Tawad, Tawad.